Get to the chopper now! Hey, welcome back to another RC car. The Extreme Monster with shock suspension. Yep, we do have all kinds of interesting models now. However, this is the company Gear2Play. Gear2Play is actually one of those companies, or I can actually say like bigger companies, because they have released many different kind of RC cars. However, this bigger model is interesting, not only of the shock suspension, no. This is going to be an interesting overall experience because we don't have a lot of big cars in the low budget series. And I must say that I did see a couple of them, and I do wonder what can we do. The overall controls are interesting because now we do have like not those weird micro switch remotes. So it's going to be different, 1 on 10 scale, so it's like a big one compared with all the other ones, the budget version we have reviewed. So let's open it up and let's see what can we expect. Because, you know, when it comes to, let's say, these bigger devices or bigger RC cars, so if you're going to be looking on AliExpress, you will find them too. Sometimes a little bit more expensive, but they will come with different kind of batteries, because now we're going to be using the old school ones. I did find this particular product with the Action Store. And Action Store seems to be nowadays having a lot of different RC cars. And this is one of those, I don't know if it still is available, because you see with the Action Stores over here, we can see and come and go. And sometimes you do see that they, after some time, have bring these things back on the shelves. The remote itself uses the old school massive antenna, and there's a bit of a downside, but the positive thing is we don't feel any micro switches underneath. I have seen these, let's say, RC cars that we have like a normal travel. I don't know if like these special meters or pot meters, I like to call them, and if they're going to be having the nice accuracy like the more deluxe RC cars. But how about the RC cars itself? Let's take a close look. So this thing comes with shock expansion, but don't expect too much from it. You can see there is some travel going on. So this thing is kind of cool, but if this is going to be like the ultimate off-road vehicle, yeah, I don't know, man. It's about the power, but also when it comes to the overall performance, particularly when it comes to the motor. The first impression that this thing is kind of cool and has absolutely a lot of potential. Remote wise, it's kind of basic. And if you're going to be looking underneath, of course, a lot of plastic, fantastic. And that is what we can expect for the money you're paying for it. So when it comes to suspension, you see that even the parts there are going to be made mostly out of plastic. So don't know how long this will survive if you're going to be doing some really crazy stuff with it. So the wheelbase, everything seems to be looking nice. They have these very soft wheels. The overall quality seems to be fine. We have some nice plastic, very flexible, so this will not break that easily if you're going to be having, let's say, some crazy thing going on. So I would say the artwork is, well, for a quality. But this is absolutely fun. You know, I think this is going to be a fun thing. There are no like interchangeable parts, so it's not like you can get yourself like a different piece of plastic and replace that. The overall travel of the wheels are nice. So let's take a close look at this. We can even adjust it over there if you want to. So if this thing doesn't go in one straight line, you can change it out. Let's see how the travel is of the wheels. So far this seems to be all fine. Yeah, I don't see any weird thing going on. But the plastic, fantastic situation. Yeah, that makes me really worrying. And yeah, the remote itself, let's see how this thing actually works. We're going to be needing batteries, same for the car. This is like an old school situation. We're going to be using the A-Force Action batteries. Yeah, if you're going to be getting something else, I always recommend getting yourself some good quality batteries. Otherwise, the fun will not last for a long time, and you're not going to be having the power needed for at least like a little bit of an off-road experience. So A-Force are personally my favorite one to use, but it is possible that you're going to be needing another brand. So check out which batteries are actually the best ones you should get. Panasonic Gold is another great one. You also have like the, I think were like the white, red colors, but those were like really simply underpowered. And yeah, they were like not for the heavy duty overall situation. The Gear2Play monster truck, or 1 on 10, let's say, design, I must say that it seems to be working quite well, but I think this car is way too big for just using in your living room. So let's go outside. I think that's going to be absolutely fun. But on a flat surface, this thing does have like a nice overall touch when it comes to steering, but also when it comes to the power. You see that seems to be working just fine. So let's go outside and let's have some fun. So how about off-road? Okay. So first impression, if you're going to be having, let's say, a little bit of a drive on the normal concrete or the rocks, you can actually get yourself like, or a flat surface, you're going to be having some speed, and the overall experience is not bad at all. I must say that I am kind of surprised at how well this works. But let's get some gravel and let's see what's going on. So far, so good. Yeah, this is not going to be a problem whatsoever. Nope. So if you have like a little bit of a different surface, yeah, that's not going to be a problem at all. This thing is strong enough to actually go through this. But I won't not go to the forest and try to do some crazy things like jumping, because this is not going to be anything going on. Because I think noticeable, like on flat surface, this is where this thing absolutely shines the best.